everyone, I hope you are enjoying your day today. This is just going to be a little bit of a talking video. So I'm holding this up. It's called the drinking bird. For some reason, this came into my mind the other day and I just had to have one. This was something my grandma had on her windowsill where she washed her dishes. As a child, I was always fascinated with it because it moves on its own. And in fact, it will actually really dip at times to make it look like it's drinking. And that's what memories do to us, don't it? And this is something I really wanted. And I didn't know the name of it. So I got on my Facebook group and I said, girls, can you tell me what this is? What is it? And somebody said, it's a drinking bird. And then I picked one up on Amazon. They're really cheap. But I just thought this was so much fun because, I don't know. You know, I think in life, sometimes the older we get troubled with the world. We get troubled with all the adult things in life, you know, the bills and things like that. And my daddy always taught me something that was really, really important. My daddy always taught me the value of being a child. My dad was always childlike. And in fact, some of the videos I have of my father, he would make noises, like he would make different animal noises. And my dad was like a child. And in life, many times we forget what it's like to be a child. And this is a memory that I'm going to share with my grandchildren. I want them to remember little things of me and just simple things like this. You know, in life, so many troubles happen, and in life we get bombarded with it. And I always think of the story of the little girl who ran around and had fun. She would run and play, and as she got older in her teenage years, she stopped running and playing and having as much fun. And by the time she was a young woman, her shoulders started to hunch over from the stress of life. And by the time she was 30, she would hunch over even more by the stress of life. And by the time she was 50, she was like this. And I think that if we forget the childlikeness of ourselves, I think we are really missing out on a big part of life. And that was something my daddy taught me. My daddy taught me to be a child. And it doesn't mean you're immature, and it doesn't mean you have a learning disability. It doesn't mean anything. It means that you are happy and that you're childlike and you enjoy childlike things and you have a wonderment of the world. I believe a lot of longevity of life is based on you and based on how you conduct yourself. I really believe that. I believe that you can live longer when you have a happy attitude and when you are a kind of person who enjoys the little things in life. And I often did videos about the two different kinds of women, and the kind of women that walked around the world and seen things with a negative attitude. And then I used to talk about women who've seen things in a positive way and how much different their lives were. And you know, people talk about karma and things like that. That's not necessarily a belief of mine, but there is a certain truth to that. You know, what you sow, you will reap. I believe that 100%. In fact, I believe that 1,000,000%. What you sow, you will reap. And being a child, again, there's nothing wrong with that. And being a child, again, helps you cope in life, and it helps you be a happier person. And this brought a little joy in my life for a couple dollars. And I'm gonna get a little glass cup. I'm gonna find one. I have one in my house, I'm sure. I'm not gonna buy one. And every time I look at it, I'm gonna think of my grandma and all the memories that I had of my grandma. Now, my grandma was a very plain Mennonite. The grandma on my mom's side, I have no photos of her. She would not allow any photos. Now, I do have photos of my dad's mom, which was plain, and that was a photo from her wedding. She actually came to our wedding. She didn't come to my siblings' weddings, but she came to our wedding. And it was really amazing because I think they were not quite as strict by the time that I got married. And you know, there's a lot to say about being childlike. And in the beginning of my YouTube channel, I was criticized relentlessly about being like a child, to the point where I started thinking, oh, well, maybe I need to be more serious, and maybe I need to be more proper. And I tried that for a little bit on my channel 6 years ago, and well, that didn't work. And I think that you need to be authentic. You need to be yourself, and whoever you are, you need to be that. I think that's important. You need to just be who you are. Some people aren't gonna like it, and some people are gonna love it, but that's how it is. I mean, we don't love everyone. I can tell you this. I try to find the good in everyone, and I try to love everyone on a human basis. But there are some people that are very hard to love, and even though I try to love them, I love them as a human. I don't like their personalities. And so some people will not like your personality. You know, some people will be immediately drawn to you. That's how life is, and it's a wonderful life to live. But I want to encourage you today, especially these last couple of years, we have all gone through an awful lot. We have all lost loved ones, almost all of us. I'm sure almost everyone watching here has lost someone they know in the last couple of years. We can get to the point where we feel like life's not worth living. We can get to the point where we get up and we're like, oh, it's just another day. We can get to the point where our pain, physical pain, and mental anguish gets to the point where we just have no joy in our life anymore. I'm talking from someone who has that experience. I'm talking from someone who's been there. I'm talking from someone who wanted to give up. And no, we do have mountaintops and we do have valleys. I know that there will be valleys in my life again. But when you're on the mountaintops, just experience that and enjoy it and savor the moment. And you will become a stronger person for it. Through the years on my channel, I shared with you very deep and personal things. Through the years, I know that that has hurt my channel in many ways, because when you share your personal life in such an intimate way, you know, there are going to be some people who aren't going to like that. But I do know that my channel has really helped a lot of people in deep personal ways. I get the emails, and I've been doing a lot of listening to motivational speakers, and I really come to the conclusion that if you want to make a difference in someone's life, you're just gonna have to go with the punches, and that is part of life. And in the beginning, you know, I was so immature as far as I didn't know what it would be like to share my life and not have everyone agree with me, or not have everyone be happy with what I was sharing. And I had a lot of hurtful things said to me. And I realized that that's a good thing, because if you're not ruffling feathers, or you're not sharing your life in such a way, you're not maybe making as much of a difference. And so I continue to share my heart to hearts, and I continue to share my life with people. And I really have found happiness. You know, you're looking at someone who is a different person, but yet part of me is the same. I think what one of the motivational speakers has said that really resonated with me, and I'm going to share with you her link to her video. It was a TED Talk, and a TED Talk is when you have different speakers and they basically are talking. And what she said was it was just such an eye-opener for me, and this is what she said. These are the words that she said and this was such an eye-opener for me. She said, I can see you, I can hear you. You can have a seat here, you can watch my videos, but I am not interested in your feedback. And that was something that was so unique for me to understand, that I want to have everyone included in my life. But there comes to a time when there's people that are mean and cruel. You can acknowledge them, but you don't need to take their advice. And it was amazing, because she said courage is your valor. And one thing I learned a lot through YouTube was to have courage. Just turning the camera on takes courage. Sharing your life takes a lot of courage. And sharing your life in a way where you share your flaws, you share all the things that you're working on, like decluttering my house, all of these things take a lot of courage. And one thing I really learned was to have courage. And people will always compare you. They will always compare you to other people. And that is just the way life is. We compare one another. And I learned now to just be me and not compare myself with anybody else. If people want to compare me to somebody else, that's fine. But I'm being me. And I'm just enjoying me. I've embraced me 100%. And I embraced all the things that make me who I am. I look in the mirror and I say, you did good, Tessie. You're doing good. And that doesn't mean that we don't improve on our flaws, because I sure have a lot of flaws and I am working on them. It just means to love who you are. Do you know the Lord does not make mistakes? The Lord made you and He made me. He can't make a mistake. You always have to understand that there's people there that are going to look at you and not accept you for who you are. And that's okay. And then they can find someone else not to accept too, because being who you are is who you are. Maybe you have a coworker that doesn't accept you for who you are. Maybe you have a church member that is always really quite snarky to you or not very nice to you. That's how life is. You're gonna have people that is their personality. I had someone just recently that I know very well say something really snarky to me, and it was actually very offensive. But that's just how they are. You know, some people don't have a lot of filters. Some people don't have empathy, so they don't think much before they talk. Don't let people keep you small. And that's something I'm going to talk more about on my review channel, about people who want to keep you small. There are a lot of people that want to stifle you, want to keep you in a box. They don't want you to get expanded. They don't want you to be happy. They don't want you to become successful. They want to keep you small, and by doing that, they criticize you and they condemn you, so to try to keep you from expanding and doing things that you like to do. Have you ever been really excited and you shared with a friend or a family member or anybody about something you're really learning and something you want to do, and they just shot you down that quick and said, why would you want to do that? Oh, that's dumb, or anything. That's because they want to keep you small, because they don't want to expand their horizons. They want to keep you small like them. I say this, people who are snarky, people who are rude, people who aren't uplifting, they're small people, and they want to keep other people small. That's how I believe it, and I believe that you don't listen to that. Do the things that you enjoy, no matter what age you are. It doesn't matter. Maybe you want to start learning a new hobby and your children don't approve of it. They don't think that you should be doing that hobby. Why would you want to spend your time sewing? And why would you want to spend your time learning these things? You know, you have to do what makes you happy. And you have to be yourself. And so I'm very thankful on my YouTube channel. My family all is very supportive of my channel. They've been supportive of my channel from day one. Some of my children didn't think I could do it. Some of my children thought I could do it, but probably not very long. Some of my children thought, Mom, you gotta do it. I think that it's gonna help you. I think you're going to learn from it. And I think you are going to have fun. All of my children are amazed at where I am. All of my children are very kind and loving. I just love my family. And so, here's for another 6 years. I don't know how long YouTube will be a platform, but as long as it's here, I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. My life has radically been changed. My life has radically been changed in the last year. And I can't wait to see what tomorrow brings. Yeah, we have some days that are maybe we're tired and stressed, but I have a new lease on life, and it shows. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.